The King of Samadhis Sutra, Samadhiraja Sutra. The translation. The Mahayana Sutra, the King of Samadhis, the revealed equality of the nature of all phenomena. Chapter 1. The Introduction. I pay homage to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Thus did I hear at one time. The Bhagavan was residing at Vulture Peak Mountain in Rajagarbha, Rajagra, together with a great bhikshu, Sangha, of a full 100,000 bhikshus, and together with 80 quintillion bodhisattvas, all of whom had one rebirth remaining, were renowned for their higher cognitions, and had gathered there from the worlds in the 10 directions. They had complete mastery of the Dharanis and Sutras. They satisfied all beings with the gift of the Dharma. They were skilled in speaking of the wisdom of the higher cognitions. They had attained the highest perfection of all the highest perfections. They were skilled in the knowledge of remaining in all bodhisattva samadhis and samapatis. They had been praised, extolled, and lauded by all the Buddhas. They were skilled in miraculously going to all Buddha realms. They were skilled in the knowledge of terrifying all Maras. They were skilled in the correct knowledge of the nature of all phenomena. They were skilled in the knowledge of the higher and lower capabilities of all beings. They were skilled in the knowledge of accomplishing the activity of offering to all the Buddhas. They were unstained by any of the worldly concerns. They had perfectly adorned bodies, speech, and minds. They wore the armor of great love and great compassion. They had great undiminishing diligence throughout countless aeons. They roared the great lion's roar. They could not be defeated by any opponent. They were sealed with non-regression. They had received the consecration of the Dharma from all Buddhas. They were the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Meru, Sumeru, Mahameru, Meru Sikaradhara, Meru Pradiparaja, Meru Kuta, Merutvata, Meru Raja, Meru Karasangang Bhatana Raja, Meru Rasava, Megaravjava, Dundubas Vivaha, Ratnapani, Ratnakara, Ratnaketu, Ratnakisara, Ratnasambhava, Ratnaprapasa, Ratnayasti, Ratnamudrahasta, Ratnavuyaha, Ratnajali, Ratnaprabha, Ratnavipa, Ratimkara, Dharma Vyuha, Vyuharaja, Laksanam Samlakirta, Svraha Viha, Svara Visuddhiprabha, Ratnukota, Ratnakuda, Dasatara Mihi Tirti, Jairo Tirasa, Kandrabhano, Sahatito Padakarma Katra Pravartin, and Subhakana Kavisudiri Preba, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Satata Mabha Yamadad, and all the Bodhisattva Mahasattvas of the good Aeon, such as the Bodhisattva Mahasattva Ajita, and the 60 with incomparable minds, such as Manjushri, and the 16 good beings, such as Bhadrapala, and the 4 Maharajas, and the other Katurmaharajaka Devas, and so on, up until Brahma, and the other Brahma Kayika Devas. In addition, there were also Devas, Nagas, Yakshas, Gandharvas, Asuras, Garudas, Kinnaras, Maharagas, humans and non-humans, who were all illustrious and renowned as being very powerful. They honored him, worshipped him, revered him, made offerings to him, praised him, and venerated him. The fourfold assembly and the worlds of devas also paid homage to him, made offerings to him, honored him, worshipped him, revered him, praised him, and venerated him. Then the Bhagavan, encircled and esteemed by that assembly of many hundred thousands, taught the Dharma. He taught perfectly the spiritual conduct that is good in the beginning, good in the middle, and good in the end, and that has good meaning, and that has good words, and is unalloyed, complete, pure, and wholesome. At that time, within that gathered assembly, there was a youth named Kandraprabha, who had honored the jinas in the past, had planted roots of merit, could remember his previous lives, had the confidence of speech, had correctly followed the Mahayana, and who was dedicated to great compassion. The youth Kandraprabha rose from his seat, removed his robe from one shoulder, and, kneeling on his right knee, with palms placed together, bowed toward the Bhagavan and made this request. If the Bhagavan will give me an opportunity to seek answers to them, I have a few questions for the Bhagavan, the Tathagata, the Arhat, the perfectly enlightened Buddha. The Bhagavan addressed the youth Kandraprabha, saying, "Young man, ask whatever question you wish of the Tathagata, the Arhat, the perfectly enlightened Buddha, and I shall gratify you with answers to each and every question you have asked." Young man, I am omniscient. I am all-seeing. I have attained preeminence because of my strengths and fearlessness concerning all dharmas. I possess the unobscured wisdom of liberation. Young man, there is nothing in the endless, infinite worlds that the Tathagata does not know, has not seen, has not heard, has not understood, has not directly perceived, and about which he has not become completely enlightened. Young man, may you always have the opportunity to ask questions of the Tathagata, and I will gratify you with answers for each of the questions you ask. The Bhagavan, having given him this opportunity, the young man, Kandraprabha, recited these verses to the Bhagavan. Lord of the world, Buddha, illuminator, bringer of benefit, elucidate what kind of practice will bring the attainment of inconceivable wisdom. Lord of humans, speaker of truth, preeminent among humans, to whom humans and devas make offerings, how should one practice in order to attain the unfathomable, supreme, highest jnana? Lord, who has supreme speech, answer this question. I ask my question with a pure motivation. There is no guile to be seen within me. I have no witness to that, other than you, sublime being. My prayer and my aspiration are vast. Sakya Lion, you know my conduct. I will not be the one who prizes words. Lord of humans, quickly teach me the practice. Which of the dharmas included in the vehicle of enlightenment are to be cherished? Elucidate for me, great hero, the summit of all dharmas. Teach to me, Lord, a beneficial dharma, through the practice of which a person will have sharp wisdom, will become free of terrible fears, will be fearless, will never abandon the aggregate of correct conduct, will be without arrogance, desire, anger, and ignorance, and will practice a conduct in which all faults have ceased. How does one not abandon correct conduct? How does one not depart from dhyana? How does one stay in a solitary place? How does wisdom increase? How does one find joy in maintaining correct conduct within the vast teaching of the One with 10 strengths? How can the aggregate of correct conduct be flawless? How does one examine the nature of the composite? How can the wise be pure in body and in speech, and with an unafflicted mind seek the Buddha's wisdom? Can they have pure actions of the body? How can they avoid faults in speech? How can they have an unafflicted mind? Best of men, give your answers to my questions. The Bhagavan said to the youth Kandraprabha, Young man, Bodhisattva Mahasattvas will attain all those qualities and quickly attain the highest complete enlightenment of perfect Buddhahood if they have one quality. What is that one quality? Young man, it is the Bodhisattva Mahasattva's evenness of mind toward all beings. They wish to benefit them, have no anger, and have no partiality. Young man, if Bodhisattva Mahasattvas have that one quality, they will attain all those qualities and quickly attain the highest complete enlightenment of perfect Buddhahood. The Bhagavan then recited these verses to the youth Kandraprabha. Having obtained one quality, these bodhisattvas, whoever they are, will attain these qualities and quickly attain enlightenment. Anger toward anyone does not arise in the mind of the bodhisattva who has a mind without anger. Those who are not hard-hearted or wicked will attain exactly what has been described. As they remain in evenness of mind, there will be an evenness of ripening results. The soles of their feet will be even, and their range of conduct will be even. They meditate with even minds that are without unevenness, without the fault of hard-heartedness and devoid of craving. They have even souls and palms. They are supremely bright and are seen as pure. The bodhisattvas illuminate the 10 directions, spreading splendor and light through a Buddha realm. When they attain the level of peace, they establish many beings in Buddha wisdom. Young man, in that way the bodhisattva mahasattva who has evenness of mind toward all beings, wishes to benefit them, and has no anger or partiality, will attain the samadhi known as the revealed equality of the nature of all phenomena. Young man, what is the samadhi called the revealed equality of the nature of all phenomena? It is restraint of the body. It is the restraint of speech. It is the restraint of mind. It is purity of action. It is the transcendence of the mind's perceptions. It is knowledge of the skandhas. It is equality of the dhatus. It is elimination of the ayatanas. It is the renunciation of craving. It is the direct perception of birthlessness. It is engagement in activity. It is the illumination of causes. It is the non-dissipation of the results of karma. It is the insight into phenomena. It is the meditation of the path. It is meeting the Tathagatas. It is sharp wisdom. It is penetrating into beings. It is knowledge of phenomena. It is knowledge of engaging in discernment. It is the knowledge of the different kinds of letters and words. It is the transcendence of matter. It is the understanding of sounds. It is the attainment of joy. It is experiencing the joy of the Dharma. It is sincerity. It is tolerance. It is to be without deception. It is to be without frowns. It is to be pleasant. It is to have correct conduct. It is to be friendly. It is to be gentle. It is having a smiling face. It is being courteous. It is to be welcoming. It is to be without laziness. It is having veneration for the Guru. It is respect for the Guru. It is being content with occurrences. It is never being satisfied with the good actions one has done. It is having a pure livelihood. It is not forsaking the solitary life. It is knowledge of successive levels. It is always maintaining mindfulness. It is being wise concerning the skandhas. It is being wise concerning the dhatus. It is being wise concerning the ayatanas. It is making one's higher cognitions manifest to others. It is the elimination of klesas. It is ceasing engagement with propensities. It is having specific attainments. It is the natural result of meditation. It is skillfulness in eliminating transgressions. It is the prevention of the arising of bad actions. It is the elimination of attachment. It is transcending the existences. It is the memory of previous rebirths. It is being free from doubt concerning the ripening of karma. It is the contemplation of phenomena. It is seeking to hear the Dharma. It is having sharp knowledge. It is craving for wisdom. It is the realization of wisdom. It is the level of a noble being. It is having a mind like a mountain. It is being unshakable. It is being immovable. It is the knowledge of the nature of the level of irreversibility. It is having the natural result of good qualities. It is the abhorrence of bad qualities. It is being free of behavior caused by the klesas. It is never abandoning the training. It is being established in samadhi. It is the knowledge of the thoughts of beings. It is the knowledge of the various rebirths of beings. It is knowledge of the infinite. It is knowledge of the intended meaning of words. It is the rejection of living in a home. It is finding no joy in the 3 realms. It is having a motivation that is not discouraged. It is having no attachment to phenomena. It is having possession of the sacred Dharma. It is protecting the Dharma. It is conviction in the ripening of karma. It is skill in the vinaya. It is pacification of disputes. It is the absence of discord and the absence of quarrels. It is having reached the level of patience. It is maintaining patience. It is the equality of the different kinds of beings. It is skill in examining phenomena. It is skill in gaining certainty concerning phenomena. It is the knowledge of distinguishing between the words for phenomena. It is skill in the presentation of the words for phenomena. It is the knowledge of the skill of presenting the distinction between words that have meaning and words that do not have meaning. It is knowledge of the past. It is knowledge of the future. It is knowledge of the present. It is the knowledge of the equality of the three times. It is the knowledge of the purity of the three aspects of actions. It is the knowledge of the body's condition. It is the knowledge of the mind's condition. It is guarding conduct. It is having unshakable conduct. It is uncontrived conduct. It is engaging in conduct that is attractive. It is the knowledge of the skill in what is beneficial and what is not beneficial. It is rational speech. It is knowledge of the world. It is unrestrained generosity. It is being open-handed. It is having a non-grasping mind. It is having a sense of modesty and self-respect. It is an abhorrence of negative aspirations. It is not forsaking the qualities of purification. It is maintaining correct conduct. It is joyful conduct. It is standing up to welcome gurus and presenting them with a seat. It is the elimination of pride. It is controlling the mind. It is knowledge of generating enthusiasm. It is the knowledge of discernment. It is the realization of wisdom. It is being without ignorance. It is knowledge of the processes of the mind. It is knowledge that realizes the nature of the mind. It is knowledge of accomplishment and definite accomplishment. It is knowledge of language. It is knowledge of presenting definitions. It is the knowledge of attaining certainty and meaning. It is abandoning that which is harmful. It is attending upon excellent beings. It is being together with excellent beings. It is avoiding bad beings. It is the accomplishment of dhyana. It is not savoring dhyana. It is the utilization of higher cognitions. It is the knowledge that comprehends the nature of assigned names and designations. It is overcoming designations. It is disillusionment within samsara. It is the absence of yearning for respect. It is indifference to lack of respect. It is not being motivated by material gain. It is not being disheartened when there is no gain. It is the absence of interest in honor. It is the absence of anger at dishonor. It is the absence of attachment to praise. It is the absence of displeasure in response to criticism. It is the absence of attachment to happiness. It is the absence of aversion to suffering. It is not being acquisitive of composite things. It is having no attachment to renown. It is accepting the lack of renown. It is not associating with householders and mendicants. It is avoiding that which is outside the scope of correct conduct. It is acting within the scope of correct conduct. It is a perfection of correct conduct. It is rejecting incorrect conduct. It is not dishonoring your family. It is preserving the teaching. It is speaking little. It is speaking softly. It is speaking slowly. It is skillfulness in answers. It is defeating opposition. It is arriving at the right time. It is not relying on ordinary people. It is not having contempt for those in suffering. It is giving them charity. It is not rebuking the poor. It is having compassion for those with wrong conduct. It is having that which will bring benefit to others. It is having a compassionate mind. It is benefiting others through the Dharma. It is giving away material things. It is the absence of hoarding. It is praising correct conduct. It is condemning incorrect conduct. It is unwaveringly attending upon those who have correct conduct. It is giving up all possessions. It is welcoming others with a higher motivation. It is doing exactly what one has said one will do. It is perpetual application. It is experiencing joy through veneration. It is the knowledge of using examples. It is being skilled in terms of past lifetimes. It is putting roots of merit first. It is skill in methods. It is the negation of attributes. It is rejecting identification. It is the knowledge of the characteristics of things. It is the accomplishment of the sutras. It is skill in the Vinaya. It is certainty in the truth. It is the direct experience of liberation. It is the single teaching. It is not abandoning correct knowing and seeing. It is speech free of doubt. It is remaining in emptiness. It is remaining in the absence of attributes. It is understanding the nature of the absence of aspiration. It is the attainment of fearlessness. It is illumination by wisdom. It is excellent, correct conduct. It is entering into Samadhi. It is the attainment of wisdom. It is delighting in solitude. It is knowing of oneself. It is contentment with having no high reputation. It is the absence of pollution in the mind. It is rejecting incorrect views. It is the attainment of mental retention. It is the entrance into knowledge. It is the knowledge of the basis, the ground, the foundation, and the practice. It is the cause, the method, the way, the creation, the doorway, the path, the practice, the guidance, the explication, and the conduct of the instruction. It is appropriate patience. It is the level of patience. It is being free of impatience. It is the level of knowledge. It is the elimination of ignorance. It is being established in knowledge. It is the level of spiritual practice. It is the scope of practice of the bodhisattvas. It is attending upon wise beings. It is rejecting those who are not wise beings. It is the knowledge that analyzes and realizes the nature of all phenomena. It is the level of Buddhahood taught by the Tathagatas. The wise rejoice in it. The foolish reject it. It is difficult for the Sravakas to know. The Pratyeka Buddhas do not know it. It is not the level of the Tirthakas. The Bodhisattvas possess it. It is realized by those who have the 10 strengths. The Devas make offerings to it. Brahma praises it. The Sakras value it above all else. The Nagas pay homage to it. The Yakshas rejoice in it. The Kinnaras praise it in song. The Maharajas laud it. The Bodhisattvas meditate on it. The wise comprehend it. It is the highest wealth. It is immaterial generosity. It is a medicine for the sick. It is a treasure of wisdom. It is unceasing eloquence. It is the way of the sutras. It is the domain of heroes. It is the comprehension of the entire 3 realms. It is a raft for crossing to the other shore. It is like a boat for those in the middle of a river. It is fame for those who wish for renown. The Buddhas praise it. The Tathagatas laud it. Those who have the 10 strengths praise it. It is the quality of the Bodhisattvas. It is the equanimity of those with compassion. It is the love that brings anger to an end. It is the delight of those with peaceful minds. It provides relief for those who follow the Mahayana. It is the diligent practice of those with a lion's roar. It is the path of the wisdom of the Buddhas. It is the seal upon all phenomena. It is the accomplishment of omniscient wisdom. It is the pleasure grove of bodhisattvas. It is that which terrifies the Maras. It is the knowledge of those who have reached happiness. It is the benefit of those who accomplish benefit. It is the refuge for those among enemies. It is the subjugation of adversaries by those who have the Dharma. It is the expression of truth for those who have fearlessness. It is the correct search for the strengths. It is the omen for the 18 unique qualities of a Buddha. It is the adornment of the Dharma body. It is the natural result of bodhisattva conduct. It is the adornment of bodhisattvas. It is the delight of those who desire liberation. It is the joy of the eldest sons. It is the completion of Buddha wisdom. It is not the level of Sravakas or Pratyeka Buddhas. It is the purity of the mind. It is the purity of the body. It is the completion of the doorways to liberation. It is the wisdom of Buddhahood's freedom from the kleshas. It is the non-arising of desire. It is devoid of anger. It is not the level of ignorance. It is the arising of wisdom. It is the birth of knowledge. It is the elimination of ignorance. It is the contentment of those dedicated to liberation. It is the satisfaction of those dedicated to samadhi. It is eyes for those who wish for the view. It is higher knowledge for those who wish to perform miracles. It is miraculous power for those who wish for accomplishment. It is retentive memory for those dedicated to listening to the Dharma. It is unceasing mindfulness. It is the blessing of the Buddhas. It is the skillful method of the guides. It is subtle and difficult to know for those without dedication. Those who are not liberated cannot know it. It is beyond words and difficult to know through speech. It is wise. It is known by wise beings. It is knowledge of gentle beings. Those with few desires realize it. Those who have unceasing diligence possess it. Those who are mindful maintain it. It is the cessation of suffering. It is the birthlessness of all phenomena. It is the single teaching on all existing beings and lifetimes. Young man, this is the Samadhi called the revealed equality of the nature of all phenomena. When the Bhagavan gave this teaching of the Samadhi, the revealed equality of the nature of all phenomena, in the past, 80 times 100,000 million devas and humans who had previously generated the necessary karma attained the patience of the birthlessness of phenomena. 96 times 100,000 million attained the corresponding patience. 93 times 100,000 million obtained the transmission of the teaching of that patience. And the entirety of the 100,000 bhikshus attained liberation of mind through the defilements not arising. 60 times 100,000 devas and human beings became free of desire, without stain, and gained the pure Dharma sight of the Dharmas. 80,000 bhikshunis attained liberation of mind through the non-arising of defilements. 500 upasakas attained the result of non-returners. 6,000 upasikas attained the result of once-returners. This universe of 1,000 million worlds shook in 6 ways. It trembled strongly, and it trembled intensely. It quivered strongly, and it quivered intensely. It shook strongly, and it shook intensely. It shuddered strongly, and it shuddered intensely. It quaked strongly, and it quaked intensely. The east sank and the west rose. The west sank and the east rose. The north sank and the south rose. The south sank and the north rose. The perimeter sank and the center rose. And the center sank and the perimeter rose. An immeasurable radiance shone in the universe, so that whatever darkness there was between the worlds was illuminated by it. The beings who were born there could see each other, and they cried, "Ah, other beings have been born here too." This occurred even as far down as the great Afichi hell. Conclusion of the first chapter, the introduction.